Okay, voice check. You edit the title on Kick. No, not in the chat one. Okay, sweet. Okay, we're back at this stupid problem I can't solve. I think I'm gonna try one more time. Probably just try drawing it out. And if I can't get it from that, then oh well, move on. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Or maybe at some point I'll go look up on Reddit sheet or something. Um, but just as a refresher, the second half of this problem, as like far as I can, assuming I'm understanding it properly, uh, you give it a list of ranges, start and ends. We want to find all the values that all the like digits, numbers that fall within those ranges, and these ranges can overlap. So you don't want to double count, basically. So for this example, these are all the numbers that fit into it, which is total 14. Got that over there. And the basic, I started by doing this and just putting it into a set, putting all the numbers into a set for the weight range, but that the data that they actually give you as a puzzle input is very big and there's a lot of numbers. So this part's for the first part of the problem. It's too big for a JavaScript set. So instead, what we did was we basically created a list of ranges, and well, first we turned this into a list of ranges, and then we went through each one, and we're basically creating a new list. As we like add things to that list, we check and see if the new item that we're adding is going to overlap with anything existing, and when it does, we merge them. We remove the old one, extend the size of the one we're trying to put in, and we go through the rest until we have checked everything, and then we put that new range into the list, and we just repeat that until all of our initial ones are in, and then it's just as simple as like counting the sizes of the range and adding those together, which is the last part. And don't that once again, figure out the best way to do this. Okay, so we had implemented that here. This is the part that goes through, and for these ranges are test ranges, and up here is our big set of ranges. But we go through each one, and we're adding it to this list. We pull out the start and end, and we check to see if it overlaps with any of the existing ones. If it does, this code got a little more complicated because we tried switching to big int just in case that was a floating point thing, but it wasn't. So this is essentially this code's just trying to do what this code's doing to get the minimum values and the max values. This is just trying to remove the old value. This is a little hack just to make sure that we don't progress the counter because we just removed the item. And then at the end, we put the new list inside. And then this last part just goes and adds everything together. That's the basic approach. It's working in that like it's getting us values, but when we put them into the solution, it's not the right solution. So we've got either we're understanding the problem wrong, we're missing edge cases that we need to handle, or I have a really stupid bug in this code. And I've gone through it several times and I haven't been able to find it. So the last thing I'm just going to do is draw out my logic here. And if that doesn't trigger in my brain the thing that I'm doing wrong, then I think we're just going to move on to a new problem. So I'm sure we'll put this. I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see what my code's doing and at the same time. um, I think maybe I know my code well enough. So let's see. So we got like a number line essentially, and I validated that none of the input values are less than 0. Push. So like this is 0. Oh man, that's so thin. Okay, that's annoying me though. Okay, so I know that all my ranges are greater than 0. I noted that the data is all valid. There's no values that are like they didn't give me a start that is bigger than the end or something weird like that. Um, and there are values that are like the start and end are the same. So there's like single values in the list. Uh, so like our starting input is something like this. We've got a bunch of ranges. Some of those ranges may be like just essentially a line, and some of the ranges overlap, and some of them overlap a lot. I suppose we could do like some of that. It's like this is our input data, and I guess desired output. I'll put down here is I should label these input. Bold it or something that's very unreadable. Okay. Yeah, so it's like, how do I move this? There. So the input, uh, this is our, well, and then I did this wrong. And I delete this. Okay. So then our desired output should be something like this. Why does it keep setting my brush back? Oh, if we click this, does it? Okay. Should be something like this range and this range. All of those should get collected up. So now we'll put desired. Oops. Probably use a better program. Okay, and put that there. Sweet. All right. Now, the way my algorithms works is it's taking values here and then slowly generating this. So let's simulate that. So it's gonna take like this value and it's gonna stick it into our list. I'm pretty sure that will work based on all the testing I did before. uh, then let's say it takes this value, should find overlaps and stick it in. Then if it takes this value, it's going to, I'm just trying to think about ordering. It's not going to overlap with this. It's going to overlap with this. So what it should do is delete, it should take this value, create a new value that's larger, and then delete this one from the list. And then eventually stick this one, when it's all done, back into the list. That's what should happen, and that gives us our desired output that we're going to get there. Hopefully. Then we stick this in. If you do pencils, okay, so they've changed it so that pencil and brush is like, it's a little confusing for me. Okay. I guess my concern was that like the way the code works, I don't go back to the end each time. I guess I could just try it, just being like less efficient. But we go through the list. When we find a match, we try to like keep going through the list. And my thought was, well, if we've checked every other place and there's been no overlaps yet, then even if I merge with something else, there can't be any overlaps. Because by definition, as we're looping through, like we're keeping it in a state of nothing overlapping. So I'm just trying to validate that that's true. Maybe I will just go ahead and try running it to see. But I don't even know what a good example. If I can't imagine some edge case here that, or another piece of input that I should put in here. Oh, I guess we also have like, uh, there are values where they overlap completely. Okay, my desired output is getting a little weird, but like the end value is exactly equal to the start value. And again, I'm pretty sure I've tested that. We can go through and double check, but all right, so I pull this one down, pull this one down. Uh, then let's say we take this really big one. What should happen is, it doesn't, let's say we check this one first with this new value. We're gonna absorb this value into our new range. And then we should keep checking. We'll find this one. We will absorb that one in to our new range. Remove it, keep going. We'll check this one and it won't match. Then we'll check this one and we should absorb that into our new range. And then we'd have a value. And then we would insert that into our final result. We should be good. Like, then after that, we get, I think we didn't have, yeah, we didn't have this one. So we get this one. And the way that's going to work is we're going to pull this out and absorb it. We should get this value. That's our new value. Let's get into this bit. And then we go test this one, and it would see it wouldn't overlap, and then we would insert it in. Okay. Basically, be pulling up the same value, keeping the same value, and then putting it back. And then for these, should be a similar thing. It's not going to overlap with anything. We should get it. Just real quick, let's. Pretty sure I've tested all of those things in here. This is not exactly the same. Let's start with the, just one more time, I think. Let's start with exactly the example that they give us. You know, 16, 20, 12, 18, and I'll worry about these for a second. And make sure that we get the right answer. Because I switched everything to big Eng, my sample is not working. So one second, let me just convert this to a big int start and a big int and should be all I need to do. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I'm stringifying the number. Oh, it's because the big int, so I'm just doing a string so I can see it. Okay, so we still have 14. That's right. So if you wanted to test, like, even if we got rid of this, if we made these things to overlap, which would be the this example here, then wait, wait, that's not what I expected. Wait 1 second. Did we just find it? 10 to 10 to 14, 16 to 20, 12 to 18. Oh, right, because I got rid of the, oh no, no, I didn't. Because this is, I wanted to make it equivalent. I kept keep this at 20. I did this 14 to 20. This should give me still 14. Okay. All right, yeah. Hopefully that was clear. Um, okay. And I think this test case is still represented by these sorts of things. We could, if we wanted to, we could add a really big range that goes through all of them. We can definitely at the start, the end, so we do like 11 to 19. There. This should not change anything. Doesn't. If we do a 5 and a 5 or a 3 and a 3, now those should reinforce it after. I can't tell what's actually running. Okay. We could flip the orderings of these, it shouldn't matter. Where's my really big one? Put that first. Doesn't matter. Yeah, man, I'm getting pretty stumped here because this number is not the right number. Where is my event there? Put that number in and it says it's not the right one. Guessed incorrectly 7 times. I've guessed the same number 7 times. um, not, I'm not even totally sure what to even try next. I feel like it's frustrating to give up on a problem, but um, I think I'm understanding the problem right. The second section of the database, the available ingredient ideas are relevant. Here's the fresh ingredient ID ranges from the above example. I'd like to know all the IDs that the fresh ingredient idea range is considered to be fresh. An ingredient idea is still considered fresh if it's in any range. So in this 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is under this range, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And there's no more after that. How many ingredient IDs are considered to be fresh according to the fresh ingredient ID ranges? Yeah, I mean, I think I'm understanding the problem correctly. I really do. I think I'm understanding it. Where's my go? There we go. I'm gonna read it one more time, and then I'm gonna go up. Go through each of our overlapping ranges. We get a start and an end. We create our. Oh, I guess the thing I said I was gonna do was we could, when we pull the value out, when we pull the value out, we could start back at 0. I'm going to do it the really horrible way. The -1, and it'll go to 0, and it'll restart. This shouldn't change anything. Yeah, it really doesn't. Okay, good. Just less efficient. Um, I think I try to like don't actually try and cut the thing value out. Maybe if there is some weird edge case where I'm cutting out the wrong thing, I could like instead mark S for deleted, and then I wouldn't have to do this funny going backwards thing. Um, so like we could let's make it a triple value. So instead we would do reduced ranges I, not the start, not the end, but the like value that indicates whether or not it's still valid becomes false. And then we would initialize them with trues. And then we wouldn't need this. So we're like basically marking the rows as deleted instead. And then what we should also early out here if is valid. If not is valid, continue. That's the case this like slicing thing is wrong. And then I just need to make sure here too that if next probably maybe it'd be nice to pull these out properly, but whatever. If that value is false, then it'll add up. Right. This also shouldn't have an effect on the output. Yeah, it does. Okay, so I mean, you can rest assured that we messed that part up. If new start is greater than e start, then we want the e start. Otherwise, we want the start. And if new end is greater than end, we want the new end. We want the biggest one here and the smallest one here. Yep, that's all. Okay, 2. It's between. Or if it's between. That all looks good too. Yep, I don't know. This is the only answer I'm getting out of it. No chatters. Just have ideas, yes. Okay, well, I'm pretty stuck on this one. Let's go to a different one. Have better luck. Uh, okay. So then let's reset our explanation here. Okay. After helping the elves in the kitchen, you were taking a break and helping them reenact a movie scene where you over enthusiastically jumped into the garbage chute. A brief fall later, you find yourself in a garbage smasher. Unfortunately, the door's been magnetically sealed. As you try to find a way out, you're approached by a family of cephalopods. Are those like those? I don't even know what those. I'm gonna get in trouble if I get search this. Oh, interesting. This is a cephalopod. I think I've seen the shells before. I don't know if I've ever seen the creature itself. Okay, anyways. So you're approached by a family of cephalopods. They're pretty sure they can get the door open, but it will take some time. While you wait, they're curious if you can help the youngest cephalopod with their math homework. Cephalopod math doesn't look that different from normal math. The math worksheets, your puzzle input, consist of a list of problems. Each problem has a group of numbers that need to be either added or multiplied together. However, the problems are arranged a little strangely. They seem to be presented next to each other in a very long horizontal list. For example, bunch of numbers, bunch more numbers, bunch more numbers, and then the mathematical operations. Each problem's numbers are arranged vertically. At the bottom of each problem is the symbol of the operation that needs to be performed. Problems are separated by a full column of only spaces, left to right. Alignment of numbers within each problem can be ignored. So this worksheet contains the problems 123 times 45 times 6 equals this. This plus this plus this. Okay. So basically, we just have like really annoyingly formatted input where the essentially the columns are all going to get combined using the operator at the end. So all of these first three get multiplied together, all of these three get plus together, all of these three get multiplied together, and so forth. To check their work, the cephalopod students are given the grand total of adding together all the answers to the individual problems. In this worksheet, the grand total is this plus this plus this plus this equals this big number. All of these things together. Of course, the actual worksheet is much wider. You'll need to make sure to unroll it completely so that you can read the problem clearly. Solve the problems of the solve the problems on the math worksheet. What's the grand total found by adding all the numbers together? Okay, so we've got some crazy input here. Oh, man, it's crazier than I thought. We need the full screen for this, maybe. Good Lord, it's like actually too big for. Where are the new lines? Even if I go all the way out, it's not. It just keeps word wrapping. Oh, so these are the new. Are these the new lines? Let me pull this into the. Can I pull this out to a separate? Okay, great. Okay, let's just look at this. Okay, I didn't even copy all the data. Is this whole thing one line? It kind of looks like this is whole one line. All right, that's fun. That's one line. This is one line. This is one line. This is one line. And then the totals. Okay. So it's not super, there's not that many rows, but there's a lot of columns. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So it's gonna be like this. I wonder if this one's better at, oh yeah. There we go. Now you can see it's blind text. 1, 2, 3. Okay, sweet. So then, all right, so the problem is, how am I gonna represent this? I've got data, math problems, formatted, such that oh, another weird thing is, I just noticed this. You see how the numbers here are uh, right aligned essentially, and then these ones that are left aligned, and then these ones are left aligned, and these ones are right aligned. Oh man, that's annoying. So let's go to this data. There's some like big numbers in there too. Sometimes there's extra white space. I guess I don't know that I care because you're just gonna basically the numbers are still in order, right? You're gonna get a number and then some amount of white space and then a number and then some amount of white space. So as long as I just keep the numbers in the right order, everything should be fine. So that that's not a big deal, I guess. All right, so then such that I want to try and word this nicely so it's easiest. given rows, sets of numbers, and a final row of operators. Perform the operator given column for all numbers. And then finally add all the totals. Okay. So for example, we've got this. Example. Or this input to this math. Then add totals. Okay. I'm gonna leave this out because I don't have it. So, all right. So then now let's like work through how we're going to do this. So first I'm gonna need to like import my data. So there's like these are the steps that I'm gonna take. So I'm gonna have to like get the puzzle input into a format that JavaScript can understand. Then we're going to create a list of lists, numbers, and operators. Maybe I'll create a list of strings. Which would be numbers or operators. Then what I'll do is remove last list the operators. Then what we'll do is we'll convert list of list strings to numbers. And then comes the fun part. Let's create a list of sums or results, I guess. Loop over list of lists updating results. And luckily, order doesn't matter for addition and multiplication, so we can just keep adding and keep multiplying. Like applying next. I don't know if this is clear, but basically we're going to go through this list, going number by number, and we'll basically take this number. I guess first one we'll just fill it all in. We should say from first row. So we'll just start with the first row, everything is there. Then we're going to go through the next one and we'll apply this operator to our our results. So we go 45 times what's in there, 64 plus what's in there, and so forth. And we'll go through the next row. I don't know if I need to draw that here or not. And then once we've done all that, we need to sum the list of results. Okay, that's our basic approach. So that's good enough for now. Okay, so let's go to code. Save this one more time, and then we'll clear out our stuff. Okay, so first we got to import the puzzle data. Get this massive block. I'm going to put my cursor at the end of every row. And I'm going to this. Oh shoot, I don't have a home key on this. It'd be super slow. What I have to do. I just this laptop, or not laptop, this keyboard doesn't have a home key, so it's quite annoying sometimes. Okay, and then I accidentally now I have two quotes. So now I've got a big string and a comma at the end. So I put a quote at the start of each line and a quote at the end of each line and then a comma at the end of each line so that I have a bunch of strings. Oh, and then I messed up. I messed up this because well, that's scary. Let me just make sure that I didn't mess up every single line then. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, probably because when I went up a line, it wasn't consistent across each of the things. All right, well, luckily we don't have that many rows, so hand manually fix these up. Oops. Okay. Now quote, quote, comma, quote, quote, comma, quote, quote, comma, quote, quote, comma, and quote, quote, comma. Okay. All right, so now we got our data. What do we want to call this? Like homework? Let's call it raw homework. Oh, let's call it. Okay. Should have something that is breaking the rendering of this thing. Oh no. Like it doesn't like it. It's too big for it. Okay. So we've got our just console. We're just making sure that I formatted it correctly, which I did. Did I not? Did I not? What's wrong? What's wrong? Missing initializer and const declaration. Const homework equals. Huh? Okay, definitely did not format this properly. Where did I mess it up? That looks right. That looks right. That looks right. Huh? I will say that this one's formatting differently. It's not. Well, not there it goes. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's because I put a comma instead of a. See, these are the kind of dumb mistakes. Okay, sweet. Got our data in. Now what we want to do is turn it into. Want to break these up and get rid of the white spaces that are in between. So uh, rows, I guess. Homework. We're gonna map it. We got the input string. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna split on white space, and then we want to remove any empty values. Filter the character does not equal empty string. So we're turning a single string into an array of characters, array of strings. And since we're splitting a white space, what we should get is this value, then this value. Then we'll get an empty string here for the part that's in between the two white spaces, and then this number, that's a split, and this one. And then we filter out anything that's not, or we filter things to just things that aren't the empty string. So this one character that we don't want should get removed. And then we should be able to print that out just to see. I don't know, this might be big to print, we'll see. But yeah, got now, at least they look like numbers. I'm not seeing any empty strings or weird things. Now, if we wanted to like double check, we also could print out the length of each one just to make sure that we should have the same number of columns on every single row. So let's map the list to list.length. Print that out instead. And we got 1,000 items on each. Great, we are doing good so far. Except for that this thing is still rendering really poorly due to the size of our input. Is there anything that can be done? That's like working in 3 inches of space down here. Okay. I wonder if I like. Oh, okay. No, that's not like that. But what is it not? Okay. It's very clear that Fiddle cannot deal with large rows. I'm just gonna see if it was a rendering issue. This if I refetch the page to fix it. Nope. Can I collapse each of these down? Nope. All right, well, that's fun. Working in this little tiny space at the bottom. Okay. Okay, so we did this. Now what we need to do is we want to pull out the last row. So numbers is going to equal rows. Is it split? Oh wait, string split. And we want 0 to. Does this pull up though? Like, I'll probably go look up the syntax. Rows dot length minus. Don't want the last one. Oh, that gives us the last. So this is pulling out all but the last item. Well, let's not do the length so we can actually see the value syntax. So this is just the. Okay, so what we want is actually the operators. Is this, and then the opposite is remove from -1 onwards. This should be the numbers. Oh, wait. Is it because splice is modifying the original string? I just realized I didn't actually change. Okay, well, one second. let's recheck this. Okay. Oh, I had it right before. I was just printing out the wrong thing. I don't know why doing numbers first makes me feel better, but okay. So now we should have these are my operators, and if I print out the numbers, we've got an array of numbers. So, oh, and option we should probably just take the. It does give us an array, but we only care about the first one always. So I'm just gonna index into the first one. We've just got an array of operators now. Sweet. Then the last thing. Well, we got plenty to do. We also want to convert this to numbers. I'm just going to do this the cheap way, which is by multiplying by a number. You should normally do this a nicer way, but I'm not going to worry about that. Now instead of a list of strings, oh wait, get a whole bunch of nans. Oh, because I'm multiplying the arrays instead of the values inside of the array of arrays, right? So stir list, and we want to convert that to just map stir. So it's kind of rowdy, so it's just we're gonna pull out just the right ones, then we're gonna map the strings list, and for each of the values in the strings, we're gonna convert those to numbers. There we go. So now instead of a list of strings, we've got a list of numbers, which will make our life easier. Okay, we got this one done. Now we're gonna, one second. I gotta go soon, but let's at least try and get through this real quick. And then if it doesn't work, we'll be sad. We'll try next stream. Okay. So we did this part. Okay. So now we need a list of results. So I don't think we're gonna change it. So we're gonna call results. I think we have to go back to. So the thing I'm weighing here is I'm just gonna reuse existing data instead of like making a copy. But I think that's fine. So we're gonna have numbers. So the thing that we're gonna do the math on, right? We have to keep a running multiplication. Here we have to keep a running sum. What's called multiply? Product? Keep a running product. For this row, for this column, I need to keep a running sum for each of those. But we're just gonna start with taking the first row and making that our results. Rather than having to deal with, oh, it's the first row, so we can edit it or whatever. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go through for let go one. We're going to start we're taking the first one. We're going to skip over the first one. I less than numbers length. And now this is going through each of the rows, but we need to also go through the columns. And since I did a for loop, I'm just going to do a for loop again, but this one we want to go through all of them. So start at 0. Maybe we should pull out column. Call equals numbers I. And then we'll j as a thing column dot length. And value equals or Yeah, why not 5? Set the final value, whatever. So column. Then what we need to do is if the operator pop j, the operator for the thing, is a plus, we only have two possible operators, it's just plus or multiplier. So if it's that, otherwise that. If it's a plus, then we want to go results j plus equals the value. And otherwise, multiply equal. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and put out our results and see what we get. Should have a bunch of big numbers. We get a bunch of numbers. No idea if they're right or not, but they'll look right. So create a list of results. Oh, we did that, and then we looped over the list, applied it, and now the last thing we need to do is sum the list of results to see. That's grand total equals results. That's just like a sum function. Nope. Okay. Reduce. And we'll go previous, next. Previous turn, previous plus next. And we're going to start at 0. I think that's all we need to do. Oh, and we need to print out the grand total for the results. Okay, we got a big number. Now the question is, boop, is the right big number? Yay, success. Okay. Oh, I've got to go do something. At least we got one problem done. I don't see any questions or anything, so just double checking. Okay. Be on some other time. Not sure when yet. I guess.